Asia Cup qualifiers. Now joining us, SBP President Mr. Alpanlino, SBP Executive Director Ms. Erica D, and Gilas Pilipinas Man Head Coach Tim Go. We open the floor for questions, so if you have any questions, you can ask right now. Coach Tim, Boss Al, just talk about how this team was formed. We know that you're coming off an Asian Games gold medal, so there's a lot of great momentum coming, not just in the men's squad, but in the entire federation.
Thank you, Carlo. Good afternoon to everybody, and thank you for being here, joining us today. I was asking Carlo, ano pang version of Gilas na to? Hindi namin mabilang eh. Baka kayo alam niyo, hindi ko alam kung 5.0, 6.0, 8.0, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just very happy that him accepted to be the national head coach for Gilas in this version of Gilas, and I think there is a vision. There's a 4-year vision for this. So we're starting the journey. We started early last week in first practice, and actually kami ni Tim, nag-uusap kami over the holidays. A lot of discussions before really he said yes, and really his philosophy is very different. I guess he will explain that as you ask questions for him. But really exciting time for Philippine basketball. We need to always get better. I think we had a good year last year, hosting the World Cup, winning the SEA Games gold, and of course winning the Asian Games gold with Tim, miracle team in Guangzhou. So as a federation, we always want to improve, not only in 5 and 5, but all the other disciplines of the federation. 5 and 5 men's, women's, 3x3 men's, women's, youth, and there are things happening also for the women's. There's an OQT for them this year, for the World Cup next year. Our youth is going to Turkey, Istanbul for the World Cup. Of course, Gilas. Again, we can explain what the journey is this year, but two windows this year for FIBA Asia Cup, and also the OQT in Latvia in July. So, I feel exciting times for the program. A lot of things to look forward to. Of course, if we can keep this 12 players together for the next 4 years, that's the objective, and see how we progress every tournament that we compete in. And it starts this week in Hong Kong on Feb 22, and then back here in this Coliseum on Sunday, Feb 25 in Taipei. So we're open to questions. Thank you.
Thank you, President Al. Coach Tim, your opening remarks in forming the squad and saying yes to call of the country to be the Gilas Pilipinas head coach.
I'd rather be asked the questions.
All right.
But I'll just say, it's just, I feel like I'm a caretaker of something very sacred, being the head coach of Gilas, and it's something that I grow up with. I've seen and I've witnessed. I've been a part of it in the past, but I've watched it from '98 all the way through the years, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And like Mr. Panino said, we have a vision, and I think everything starts with a vision. And now, we have a vision, we have a goal in mind. Now it's all about the process of how we get there, and the day to day, every day. And so, today's practice is going to be as important as the practice 3 years from now when we prepare for the World Cup. Everything is going to be important and precious to us because we do have limited time. We have limited time, 10 or 12 days together here, including the games, and then in the next one, maybe 15 days, and the one after that, maybe 10 or 12 days. So if you accumulate that a lot, that's only like 40 days or 35 days together. And you think of one conference in the PBA is like 3 months. So it's not even 1/3 of our conference being together. So everything we do is really, really important. Everything we do it has a purpose, and that's what we're really trying to impress on the players as we move forward.
Thank you, Coach Tim. ED, Gilas Pilipinas men will always be the tip of the spear, but what is the plan for the federation moving forward before starting with this first event, the Asian qualifiers window?
Obviously, it's a whole year program for the Gilas team. With regards to the window, we're also preparing everything that we should under the FIBA guidelines to host the game properly and make sure that not only our Gilas squad is in a position to perform their best, but even our opponents, which we are hosting, the Chinese Taipei team. We want to make sure that everything is in place just like we did during the World Cup. So those are the preparations outside the Gilas team.
Good afternoon, Sid Ventura, ESPN. Question for Sir Al. When you were crafting this 4-year plan, what specific goals did you set for the team? You know, qualifying for the Olympics or what? And then after that, my second question would be, was Coach Tim your only choice?
I guess first is, as I said earlier, we want to improve every time. No? And I think if you talk about the World Cup, we qualified the last 3, right? In Seville, we won we won here in Manila. We beat Korea for the first time. That's what I guess propelled us to the World Cup. And then in Beijing, we did qualify for Beijing. And this time we hosted. That's why we were in the World Cup. But we also qualified. If you take a look at the record that we had. So again, we want to qualify again to the next World Cup, but we want to do better. I think my aspiration in the last World Cup was at least 2 wins, but we fell short. No? We have not had 2 wins in a World Cup. And if you notice, there are 32 teams, right? The top 16, there was no Asian or African team in the top 16. We're all in the bottom 16. Maybe we can be better than that next time. Of course, I think a lot of this vision and this aspiration was, a lot of discussions also with Tim, because I have to understand also how Tim is thinking about the whole process. And he did say that we always want to be the best in Southeast Asia for sure, and we always want to be the top teams in Asia. So we started that with an Asian gold last year, and I think we carry that for the next 4 years. So in a way, I think answer your second question. I think hands down for me, after of course Tim has proven himself many times over here in the Philippines, but that Asian Games medal was also again delivered by Tim. So to me, there's no other choice except to really offer it to Tim. If Tim said no, then that was the time I would start looking for other coaches. There were some thinking of foreign coaches, but again, it's difficult. No, you're hiring a foreign coach, but you only need him, as Tim said, maybe 40 days of the year. So what does he do the rest of the year? And again, I think you're trying to gather the best players in Philippine basketball, and I think our thinking is depending on the system of Tim, is these 12 players that we've identified. I know Tim would say that any other coach can be a different lineup, but for him, I think in his system and the way he wants to run the program, these are the 12 that he's looking at to deliver the vision. So we started from that, and I sort of agreed with a lot of the things that Tim said and the targets that we wanted to put forward. So we were aligned actually from day one in terms of the vision. Took a bit of time for me to convince him to say yes, but we were sort of aligned. We wanted to improve the standings of the Philippines. Once you perform internationally, the rankings follow naman. I think I told Tim, why can't we be in the top 20 at some point? So I know it's a hard task, but because you're playing against a lot of the European countries at the same time. So we want to be better. We want to improve every year. What number we fall at, I really don't know, but we want to continue to improve. I hope I answer your question.
Yes. Thank you.
More questions?
For Sir Jack Batalyon from ABS-CBN.
Hi.
Sir, dati sobrang dominant natin. Usually for SEA Games, yung basketball team natin, sure na yan, goal. Pero lately, sir, di ba, pag Southeast Asian Games, medyo nahihirapan na tayo for Indonesia, Thailand, hindi na siya sure thing. But do you think, sir, it's a matter of yung neighbors natin, nakahabol na sa talent ng Pilipinas, or baka medyo naging overconfident tayo kung sino-sino yung lineup na pinapadala natin, sir? Tingin ko talaga lumakas na rin, sir, yung region natin with regards to us.
Maybe Tim can also say something about this. But to me, of course, nag-improve din ng lahat ng teams. Every country has improved. Of course, in the SEA Games, you can have more than one naturalized player. And we saw what happened in Cambodia. To me, I don't think we will do that as a federation. I think we will still respect, I think closest to the FIBA rulings, I think we will follow that. At the same time, I think we believe in the skills of the Filipino basketball player. Right? So we will not have 6-7 Americans playing for the national team for sure, ever. So we will have Filipino talent there for sure, and we will augment it with a naturalized player. Pero gumagaling din sila, no? I mean, Indonesia has improved, Thailand has improved, and I think we have to continue to improve also. I think what's different now is, tama ka, no? Every tournament then was a different team. So parating bumabalik tayo sa parang square one, di ba? It's a new coach, new system, new players, learning na naman, we have to learn the system, it takes a while. And that's why this program of Tim that he is embarking on, and it's two C's I've always heard from Tim Bone: continuity and chemistry. And he would say that over and over again. So that's why he said this team of 12 players. And in fact, I told him also I know he's loaded in Enebra and all the other commitments he has. I said to him, maybe you don't have to coach every window. Pwede mong ilagay yung assistant mo who knows your system to run that window. Richard De Rosario, even an LA Tenorio, can also, I know LA is still playing, but people like him and Richard can coach those windows. Sabi ni Tim, I beg to disagree. I want to coach every window. Because for me, it's a building block to the next window, to the next tournament. And if I have these 12 players and we have short, as I said kanina, no? Sabi niya kanina, short windows to be together, 40 days in the whole year with 3 windows. Every tournament, importante sa akin. Kasi dapat nag-improve tayo as we move forward. As long as we can keep the core of players, no? All the way. And then, again, the vision is to be not great immediately, and I've heard Tim say this, we will not be great on day one, but 3 years down the road, we should be at the best that we can be to be able to compete internationally.
Coach Tim Denson. Coach, just to pick up on what President Al said, it won't be great immediately, but talk us through the importance of getting these 2 games off to a good start towards that 4-year plan, geared towards returning to the World Cup and hopefully making it to the Olympics.
Well, I've said this before. I think I said it during the Asian Games. Our goal is, in my mind, is to make the Olympics. I think that's really our goal, is to make the Olympics, and whether it be Paris or whether it be LA in 4 years or 5 years, our goal is to make the Olympics, and we do that by either qualifying in Latvia or by being the best Asian team in the World Cup. To do that, we have to qualify for the World Cup, and to do that, we have to qualify for the FIBA Asia Cup. It's all a progression that goes forward. So that's our goal. Our goal is to do that, but that's not our focus. We're not going to be thinking about that or talking about that as a group. Our focus is what it's going to take to get us there, and that's that day-to-day process that we're going to battle, and that's part of the process. This window here is part of the process that's going to take us forward and get us advanced. And right now we're just trying to build a foundation. This is the first time we've had Kai and Carl and Kevin and Dwight with our up close and stuff. So it's really about building a foundation from which we can build from. And this is our foundation right now. This first window is, I hope, to be our foundation. We've done everything foundationally in the Inspire camp. We've practiced everything that's foundational. We keep telling our guys, we're not going to shortcut, we're not going to jump around, we're just going to build consistently forward. And that's why this one's important. I mean, yes, it's important that we win, but it's even more important that we build a foundation from which we can bring into the next window, and from which we can go on to the next one after that. So, you know, we want to be goal-oriented. We want to be thinking about goal, but it's more important for us to be growth-oriented. And to be growth-oriented, we've got to stay with the process. And that's what I hope that these guys are getting and will continue to get, in a mindset that they're process-oriented.
There you go, Steve. Follow-up question for President Al. President Al, as you were crafting this for-year roadmap, were there any specific marching orders that you gave Coach Tim or Executive Director Medina, so that we won't regress na lang sa mga mistakes natin over the past?
But you always just learn from what we did in the past. No, every version of Gilas is different, and I think what is particularly different for this one is it's a longer-term plan. It's a 4-year plan that as Tim said, foundational, and hopefully in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, we really progress and become better. I just wanted also to share. There's a lot of support coming from all the basketball stakeholders also. The first Friday of the year, Jan 5, Tim has not even accepted at that time yet, but I brought in Tim to present his program to the stakeholders. When you say stakeholders, it's really the PBA, the UAP, the NCA, and basically because the players are coming from there. No? And really showing the roadmap all the way to the World Cup in 2027. As Tim said, if you're the best Asian team, then you automatically go to the LA Olympics in 2028. No? So we showed all of that, and we're saying this is the request that we want from all the stakeholders. Ito yung windows, and I think what's different from what Tim's program is it's not 2 months preparation that he needs. It's 10 to 12 days each window, and I think that we can workable across all the stakeholders, PBA, NCAA, and we did give them advance notice, not only this year but for the next 3 years after this. No? So they already know the calendar, and we've requested them they can now start adjusting the calendar. The only difficulty was this window. Ito yung medyo, ang term nga ang Tagalog na natutuwa kay Tim, sinabi niya marunong pala, magulo. Magulo. This window is magulo because when we formed the team, the PBA was already ongoing. Buti natapos na yung PBA Feb 15, I think. It's a short preparation time just for this window, but the intention is it is foundational. From here, punta ng Latvia in July, and then from there, yung sa November window dito, where we're playing both New Zealand and Hong Kong here in the Philippines. And then we worry about the next windows in the next few years.
ED, one question. This is the first time that Gilas Pilipinas men will be playing here in Phil Sports. Can you just talk about the decision to play here and the Federation's relationship with the Philippine Sports Commission?
So we worked a lot with the Philippine Sports Commission during the World Cup, and this was one of the practice venues, so it was improved a bit, and we wanted to take advantage of those the backstops that we'll be using were the World Cup backstops that were donated to the PSC after the event. So we wanted to utilize that. We also know that Phil Sports, formerly Ultra, is a historic site for basketball games in the Philippines. This is where we used to hold the old PBA games. And we sort of wanted to bring back that kind of culture in Philippine basketball.
Thank you, ED. We are running out of time. Coach Tim and President Al, just an invitation to the fans to come support Gilas Pilipinas on February 25. We start out with Coach Tim.
Well, speaking of Phil Sports, I mean, it would be awesome if we could sell it out and really get everybody to come and support against Taiwan. I've been hearing around that it's like we're such heavy favorites against Taiwan, and I'm watching their video and I'm going, wow, this team is really strong. They got good size. They shoot the ball extremely well. They play with pace, and they've been together for a long time. They played the Jones Cup against Rain or Shine. They played the Asian Games and finished fourth, losing to China in the knockout game. So it's a team that we're going to have to really reckon with, and we're going to need every little support we can get, because we're still searching for ourselves. We haven't found ourselves by any means, and we don't expect to at this point. We know that we're not going to be as good now as we are in the next 2 or 3 windows, but we do feel we found a foundation. We love our size, even though we're going to be missing Junmar and AJ Edu. You think about that, that's 6'11" and 6'10" that we won't have. But Japeth, who is not here, and he's going to be playing. The reason he's not here is his wife delivered a daughter yesterday. And so he's at the hospital with his wife, and he will be joining us a day later on the 21st for us in Hong Kong. So he's really godsend, because we really lost a lot of size losing Jumar and AJ. So Japeth being able to back up Kai is going to be really big for us. And Carl Tamayo is our third string center. So he might have to play out of position, but this is the things that happen in any basketball team. You have injuries, you have guys that have wives who deliver babies, you have these kind of things that happen all the time, and it's just a matter of, you just have to roll with the punches and continue to deal with this, and that's what I like about this team. It's not an all-star team. This is a team that we're going to keep together, and it's going to have its issues. We're not going to win every game we always play. We're going to lose a few games along the way. But as long as we compete, and as long as we can continue to compete for the top spots in these windows and such, then we'll be learning along the way as we go.
Thank you, Coach Tim. Final word, President Al.
Again, thank you to everybody here. We did share the calendar also to the players. Sabi namin, time ninyo yung weddings ninyo, time ninyo yung panganganak ninyo. Yan ang mga window. Bawal kayong manganak, bawal kayong mawala during those windows. So, kidding aside, I think really I'm just, it's a journey for us. And as Tim said, inspired every day when I was there, the first practice. We're not going to be great on day one. It's a process. So my appeal to everybody is, please continue to support the team. Ups and downs of the team. Please, especially the media, please help us go through this journey. There is a vision for this team, and I guess without you, without the fans, we want to feel really that we won the six-man award in Seville. They had the Philippine crowd. That's why we did it for the hosting here last year, because we really want to give it to the fans at the same time. We need support from all of you to continue to cheer on and pray for the good Gilas team. So looking forward to the games. Community team, let's fill up Ultra on Sunday, and really excited to see the games. Thank you.
And that ends our press conference. Thank you so much to our Executive Director, Erica Lee, Coach Tim Cone, and President Alpan Lino. Thank you so much to the members of the media for having your time with us.